Hi, I'm Ed Haigh, and I wanted to share with you a few thoughts from our latest research into the financial services consulting market. Now, financial services remains the most important sector to the global consulting market. It accounts for something like a quarter of the entire consulting market, in fact, worth about $21 billion in 2012, and growing pretty but not exceptionally well. So we think it grew by 5% between 2011 and 2012, and that's decent levels of growth. But it's perhaps lagging a little bit behind growth in the market as a whole, which was at nearer 7% or even 8%. So slightly off the pace. I think it's being kept in check by, as much as anything else, the very difficult times that the sector's had in recent years. But prospects remain pretty good. In fact, if you speak to clients and ask them about how they expect their expenditure to change, as we've done, what they tell you is that a far greater number of them say that they expect expenditure to increase. In fact, 46% say they expect expenditure to increase to some degree, as do say it will decrease. So we have about 22% of people saying that they expect consulting expenditure to decrease. So the kind of fundamentals are pretty good in the market. The expectation is that spend's going to increase. And we go into a lot more detail about that forecast and break it down by individual service line within our report. But overall, looking forward, I think there's a lot of reasons to be positive. In a nutshell, there's some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that, if I can put it like this, financial services clients think they're cleverer than you. That means that they tend to think they have the capability in-house to do the things they need. They're not as convinced as clients elsewhere about the additional layer of expertise, of capability that consultants can bring in. And so they're much more likely than other clients to say that they know exactly what they want to do. They just need to put consultants in seats and get them actually doing it for them. So it's quite a different type of consulting very often that's going on in the financial services sector. Much more akin to what some people might call contingent labour, what others will call body shopping. It's a big proportion of the market in financial services, I think. The good news is there are lots of seats to fill. As many of you will be aware, financial services organisations have laid off a great deal of staff in recent years, and they have spaces, they have gaps, and they need something doing with that. So consultants are being brought in, sometimes en masse, to help them fill those seats and to meet the kind of objectives that they're trying to meet. So there's good news and bad news. There is, of course, a lot of regulation driving activities still in the consulting market, but we go into a lot more detail about what the subtle drivers of consulting are within the sector in our report, and talk, as I said, about more detailed forecasts, as well as a more detailed breakdown of the market, and indeed a view from each of the major geographies that we cover. So if you'd like to find out more information, please visit our website, and we'd be delighted to hear from you with any questions you have.